I remember going in the shelter with my bags, doing the intake, and I just started crying. I ended up saving about $5,000 in 4 months. And the apartment was this apartment. And I've been living here since I was 19 years old. And I'm finally moving out at 26. And I'm not moving into a new apartment. I'm actually moving back in with my parents. I wouldn't be like me if I didn't show this part of my life. Like, my channel was called Life with Gabriella.
So much it drives me insane.
I ain't got a clue, bruh.
So what can I say to you when I'm off there?
Hey yo, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm about to introduce myself right now. If you've been here rocking with me, comment down below how long you've been watching me, how you found me, how long you've been rocking with me. So this video, I'm in my apartment. I've been living here since I was 19 years old. This same apartment. 19 years old, I moved here, and I'm finally moving out at 26. And I'm not moving into a new apartment. I'm actually moving back in with my parents. Yeah, I've actually been living there for like a month now, but I've never made a video because I'm like, it's my business. But I'm like, I wouldn't be like me if I didn't show this part of my life. Like, my channel was called Life with Gabriella, and I'm very open. I'm real. So it's like, if I don't share this big part of my life, is not gonna be, I feel like everything else won't flow right. So I have to do this video, especially since we reached 10K. Thank you for helping me reach 10K. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I know y'all came from a lot of different other people that I collabed with. So for those who've been here and for the new subscribers, I'm just gonna introduce myself. I'm gonna start from the beginning to now, beginning when I came out the coochie to now. So yeah, I'm in my apartment right now because this will be the last time I'll be in here, sorta, because I'm trying to sell this TV. And child, if nobody buys this TV before a certain day, I'm gonna break it. Because if I can't have it, nobody will. Okay? My name is Gabriella. I'm from New York. I will be 27. Y'all about to see mad flies or fruit flies because the power is off in this apartment. And yeah, it's just like, there's still some food in the fridge, and I already know they're just like, I have a 6-year-old son. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I was born in Puerto Rico. I lived over there for, I would say 5 years, 5 or 4 years. I remember going to school over there. So clearly my first language was Spanish. I remember playing in the hills. When it was raining, we'll roll down the hill with water, mud, all of that. I done seen snakes, feel me? Even though things are blurry because I was very young, I don't remember much when I was young. But I do remember those clips for sure. We lived in a house. And at the time in Puerto Rico, it was me and my older sister. I don't even think my younger sister was born yet. So it's me, the middle child, and then my younger sister. She's 21 now. Then 5 or 4 years old, we moved to New York. I remember the first time coming to New York, I was freezing. We was not prepared for the weather. We was freezing cold. Ended up living in Brooklyn for a little bit with my grandfather, my mom's dad. And then in Parkchester, that's when I really have images of me living with my little sister, me and my older sister. Then it was really the trio of us, 3 of us. While we was living in Parkchester for a bit, my mother met my stepdad. And my mom, she was a single mom. All our dads weren't in our lives. My dad wasn't in my life. He left me when I was fresh out the coochie, a week old. My dad left. My mother didn't deal with the responsibilities. When I get lit, because it's gonna happen, that man better not try to claim me. Okay, do not try to claim me now, because that's what dads do. They see their child get successful, now they're gonna try to crawl in and be in the life. Get out of here. Depart from me, I never knew you. We're in this 2-bedroom apartment with my younger sister, me, my older sister, my stepdad's daughter, my mom, and my stepdad. Now it's 6 people in a 2-bedroom. And then from that apartment, I've been living there ever since I was 18. Then eventually my stepdad and mom had 2 boys, my brothers. So now the house is even more crowded. Just imagine like how chaotic it was, but it worked. You know, it worked. So I graduated high school at 17. I was the first high school graduate in my family and the first person to go to college. I went to SUNY Broome College. It was like 2 or 3 hours away from New York. I loved my college experience, even though I was only there for a semester, which was like 4 months. It was fun as hell. It was fun. Okay, it was fun. It was fun because that was my first taste of freedom, right? My first taste of freedom. My mom was very, very, very strict, like very strict. I didn't have a phone. I had to get my first phone. I remember my mom gave me a phone, but I was like 8 at the time, and I ended up losing it, breaking it. I don't know. So yeah, I got my first phone when I went to college. I had to work a summer job. My first job was Toys R Us. Like, I started working there right after I graduated high school. Saved up to get me a phone. Took that phone to college with me. But yeah, right? So my mom was very strict. Like, she tried to give me some leeway here and there, but I had a strict mom, which is good. It was good because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a female. But also, you know, she had to juggle a lot. She had to juggle 5 kids. Very strict. I didn't go out. Wasn't the type to really have a lot of friends. I had like 1 or 2 friends. Wasn't on social media really. When I did get on social media, it was very late. Yeah, I was just very like boxed in, which was good and not good, because when I got to college, I didn't go crazy. Like, I didn't go and, you know, do mad dudes, no. But I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm free. Like, I was living it. I was loving it. And I could say like my mentality was not there. Like, yes, I was 17, but I did not have a 17-year-old mentality. I was very naive, not knowing much about the real world, like how people are. I believed a lot of things anybody would say to me. Like, I easily trusted people very easily. The fact that I did go to college, it wasn't really because of my career. Like, oh yeah, I want to go to college. I went to college for health sciences, to be a nurse. Yeah, it was an interest, but it wasn't like a passion. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, I want to be a nurse. I didn't even really know what a nurse did for real. Like, in college, I dormed, but I really wanted to just get away, like experience being free, experience being on my own. So that's really why I went to college. And the fact that I went to college for that reason and not for the curriculum, I left in a semester. I left after a semester. I didn't go back. I was even trying to do like my singing stuff. Like, that's when I got to college, that's when I realized I had a passion for singing. Like, I've been singing since I was 11. Like, I realized I could sing like 11, 13 because it was around the same time I moved in with my stepdad. Me and my family moved in with my stepdad. I started going to church heavy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, my mentality was very innocent, very young-minded for my age. I was in church heavy. I was singing in church. They had me singing in church, and I'm glad I went to church because that made me get a relationship with God. Like, I experienced the Holy Spirit several times. I experienced just feeling God's presence. Like, God is real. When you're around a bunch of people and y'all believe the same thing, and it's just like y'all just worshiping all at once, it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. But church is not, even though the church is supposed to be holy, we are humans, and humans are sinful. Like, there was definitely people in the church that mistreated my mom. Like, they said certain things to my mom, and it made my mom not want to go back to church. Like, but even though my mom left the church, you know, she told me and my sisters to still stay. So we stood. I stood in that church until I went to college. Mind you, I was in church throughout my whole time in school. I even went back to my block and was trying to get people to come to church. Like, I was telling people about God. I was in school telling people about God, trying to convince them to come to church. Like, I was very church heavy in my teenage years. I had one boyfriend at the age of 15 to 16, and I met him in church. My mother met him, met his family. Yeah, I met him in church, but he was also a guy. Like, he's a guy. So, of course, sex started to, you know, pop up, and eventually I lost my virginity to that guy. And I didn't, like I said, I was very church heavy. So even though I lost my virginity, I wasn't on it. Sex didn't do it for me. Like, I'm just like, I feel so guilty. God, like, why are we doing this? I would stop in the middle of us doing it because I would feel guilty. And eventually he broke up with me. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. He broke up with me, and I understand, like, but I was young. I had no business having a boyfriend. But you know, we're so young-minded, and we see our friends doing this and that. We think, I honestly thought I was missing something. Like, I would hear about people having sex, and I thought I was missing something. I'm like, oh my God, it probably feels so good. I thought, you're not missing nothing. Eventually you will get to it. And I honestly wish I was still a virgin. But yeah, look at my mentality going into college. I just wanted to be free, feel the freedom, and right back to the singing. So once I got to college, I realized, like, I just want to sing. Like, I started going on YouTube. I made my singing channel, which is still up. It's called Gabriella Vega. And you'll even see videos in this apartment. Like, I've been living here since 18. I just wanted to sing. I wasn't taking the exams serious. Like, I would literally skip exams to practice my singing covers for YouTube. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not coming back next semester. I was telling everybody thought I was joking. I'm like, I'm not coming back next semester. Now the first semester is over. I'm back home for winter break. So I'm back there talking to them, and my mom is like, so did you register for next semester? Mind you, I already made up my mind. I'm not going back to college. So I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm not going back. Like, it's just not my passion. Like, I don't want to go back to school. You know, she tried to convince me not to, but it didn't work, and I ended up just staying back at my mom's place. So my mom is like, okay, you could stay here, but you know, you're gonna have to work and, you know, help out. And I'm like, okay, I understand. So I told my mom to like, you know, just give me a year. I'm gonna work and I'm gonna get my own apartment. Mind you, this is back in the day. This is, what year was this? I was 18, so I'm about to be 27 now, 2024. This is 2016, right? 2016, I know minimum wage is trash. I got a job at Hollister, right? Downtown Hollister. I used to work at the Soho. They had the 3 floors. I don't know if they're still open, but yeah, I used to work there overnight. So I started working there, right, while I was still living with my mom. And it's like, I wasn't working full time. I was working part time and overnight. And back then, minimum wage was bull. So my checks that I would get, you know, I would spend it on necessities like underwear, bras, some clothing. You know, I like to get my hair done sometimes, my nails done. But it's not like I would do anything crazy. I didn't have friends, so I'm not going out. I didn't have a car. It's not like I was, you know, going crazy, just saving my little bullshit check. But at the time, my mom, she would want me, you know, to help her pay for things, and we will get into it a lot, because once I would buy myself these necessities, my younger sister, she would take it. She would steal from me all the time, from our family. Like, she was really a problem child. You know, my story time I did, my worst betrayal with my BD and my sister. I see a lot of people defending her because they hear 15 and they think of an innocent 15-year-old and a grown man. Like, and I understand. If I was somebody viewing in, I would think, oh my God, poor girl, she was 15, like that's a little girl. And I see people saying that was a child, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Like, some people, y'all need to clean your ears. A child and a teen, two different things. By the time you're a teen already, you got your period, you know about boys, you should know about sex. You're in high school. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're in high school. I think a freshman or a sophomore. You're a sophomore in high school, about to graduate. My sister was not a normal teen. Like, she's been giving my mother hell since she could speak on her own. She's been hanging with the wrong crowd for a long time. Me and her would go at it for so long. Like I said, she was honestly the older sister and I was the younger one, mentally wise. See how I explained how my mentality was? My sister, she was, by the time she was 11, she was already like 18 years old in her mind. But she was doing her actions, sneaking out. My mother called her a bunch of times, you know, with people she wasn't supposed to be with, grown people. Yeah, and I was never the type to do things like that because I didn't even know about it for real. Like, didn't know much. I wasn't outside. I was in church. I was a good girl. I was a good kid. My sister, she tried to poison me one time. She put Clorox, mind you, this was when we were young. I was like 14. She was 9, 10. Trying to poison me with Clorox. She put Clorox in my drink. Her mouth was crazy. Yeah, she was just always, you know, on the grown side of things, really on the grown side of things. Me and her never really got along. She'll steal from me, from her own family, credit cards, money. And she is really a pathological liar. Like, she lies for no reason. Like, she just lies to lie. So, when I was saying the story time, like 15, 22, I didn't react to it. I didn't even think everybody would be like, oh my God, she's 15. First of all, she was 15 going on 16. I gave birth September. My son's birthday is September 9th. Her birthday is December. October, November, December. Shorty would have been 16 in 3 months. So damn, I probably should have just said my 16-year-old sister. Yeah, then y'all probably would have, you know, have a change of heart. But y'all here 15 and y'all going crazy. But like I said, I understand from the outside looking in. But everything is not black and white. Life is not black and white, okay? Life is not black and white. There's loopholes, there's the way people grow up, there's what people see at a young age, there's things people go through at a young age that will shape your mentality forever going forward. So, yeah, my 15-year-old sister, not your regular 15-year-old sister. She done been to psych wards a bunch of times because this girl had drawings in the closet of how she was gonna kill each family member, including my younger brothers. Like, this girl's a psycho, okay? So that's why, even though y'all going crazy in the comments, I'm not like, y'all not gonna, I can't say anything to me. Like, I've known her since she was born. Like, I'm her older sister. I know my sister, and if it was the way y'all are saying in the comments, like, oh, she was 15, he was 22, y'all don't think I would have went beyond and crazy for my sister if it was how y'all think it was? But like I said, I know how she is. I know how that girl really is. And always be going at it. So when she would take my things, I would have to buy new things. And when my mom would see me come in the crib with a new bag, she would flip. And I'm like, but your daughter is taking my things. And we would just always go back and forth. Me and my mom never had the best relationship either. Like, we never really had the best relationship like it should have been, which I don't blame her. Like, me as a mother now, I see that, you know, she was probably going through a lot herself within herself, having to raise 3 daughters on her own, plus having to work and pay rent, provide for 3 girls. I don't blame her. I forgive her too, because life is life. One day we're arguing heavy. I ended up getting kicked out, got all my things, belongings. I said, I'll leave, I'll get my stuff. Mind you, I was 18 at the time. Please remember everything I just told y'all, how my mentality was when I left. I Googled a shelter. Like, the shelter I went to was called Covenant Houses. It's a shelter in Manhattan. It's a youth shelter, so only certain age, I think it was from 16 to 24 could live there, or to 21, 22. I remember going in the shelter with my bags, doing the intake. I was on the table, giving them my information, and I just started crying. I started crying because it's like, how the hell did I get here? And even my mom admitted to me recently, like, you know, she wasn't there for me as she should have been. You know, we weren't as close as we should have been. And it's like, I didn't say anything because it's like, you know, some things don't have to be thrown in your face. It's like, I know that, but I'm glad she knows that, you know, because, yeah. So we're good now, but at the time, I was done. I'm in a small ass room. There's 1 bunk bed. There's 2 bunk beds. There's one down here. I'm on the top. Then there's another bunk bed on that side. A small bathroom. And it was giving college, because I think it was like 6 floors. 1 floor was the girl floor. 1 floor was the boys floor. 1 floor was the girls. 1 floor was the boys. And then we all met in the lunchroom to eat. I'm not sure if they had activities because I was never there. I told myself I'm not gonna be here long. I'm gonna get another job. I'm gonna save up for my apartment, and then I'm leaving. In the morning, I would work the Starbucks job, and then at night I would go to Hollister. So I'm literally working all day. I ended up saving about $5,000 in 4 months. I'm like, you know what? I think I could start looking for apartments. So when I was about to start looking for apartments, there was this program that entered the shelter, and I got interviewed for one of the programs, and the programs accepted me, and they helped me get an apartment. I didn't even have to pay anything. So, and the apartment was this apartment. And then with the money, I was just buying my bed. I bought everything by myself. I was going crazy. A week before I was about to move out to my apartment, that's when I met my child's dad. And that was just like just a bright light with something I was just going through at the time. I just felt like, thank God I have somebody to help me go through this with. Like, this was my first apartment I'm moving into. I didn't, you know, I was just like, I didn't know what to expect. I was excited. So I met him, and he started helping me move in things, helping me, you know, put curtains up, helping me build things. We just got very close very fast. So eventually we ended up getting in a relationship, and he ended up moving in. Within 5 months, I met him, moved in the apartment, got in a relationship with him, and got pregnant. So all this is going on, and I have nobody to talk to. Mind you, I'm still not talking to my mom. I have no friends. I'm just literally by myself. Like, I was talking to like 2 of my old friends, I think, from high school, but It was never on no everyday stuff. It was like you link each other here and there sometimes because it was summertime. Mind you, I'm not thinking, oh, maybe I let this guy move in so fast. I barely know him. Now I'm pregnant. I wasn't thinking like that. Like I told you, I did not know much. I only had one boyfriend. I wasn't active like that. I wasn't outside. I wasn't partying. I wasn't into the mix. I was to myself. In a shelter, getting money, got my apartment. I had a goal in mind. I wanted to focus on my music. And yeah, got my laptop. I was on my shit. I knew what I wanted and I was doing it. But it's the fact that, yeah, I know what I wanted. I was mentally aware about that, but I wasn't mentally aware how guys were, how the world really was, because I never had that guidance. Like my mother said, she was supposed to be there for me. She was supposed to be there with me, getting my first apartment. Oh, you got a man now, let me meet him. He's moving in with you, let me meet this dude. Like, I didn't have that. I had to learn the hard way. Then life just happened. I was with him for about 2 years and some change. We ended up breaking up, but I stood in this apartment. I had to figure out how I was gonna work and be a mom at the same time. That's when and then I thought, okay, since he has a dad, I thought, you know, his dad was gonna help me pick him up, drop him off. No, his dad was like, at the time he did cab service. So he was like, well, I have to be out all day. I can't. He was basically saying, F me, you gotta figure it out. So that's when shit hit me like, oh, okay, I see. I gotta find a daycare. I gotta pick him up, drop him off, go to work, leave work, pick him up, come back home, feed him, put him to bed, do it all again every day. Oh shit, okay. So I realized that, okay, it's given I'm a single mother. It's giving single mother. And a lot of people would tell me, you're not a single mom because he has his dad in his life. He gets him here and there. He buys him stuff here and there. It's like, yeah, it's a help-ish, but it's not given active. It's not given active father. It's giving, you get to do what you want to do because you're a male. But I, as the mother, I have to, as a mother, that's when I realized, oh, this is a full-time job. Even when you're sick, you have to be a mom. So yeah, I just realized like moms have a different responsibility than dads. Like dads get away with a lot of things because if I chose to not be a mother because of what I'm going through, I will get bashed. Life was hitting me and I'm like, okay, I gotta do what I gotta do. So I stopped singing. I stopped doing my singing videos. I started to vlog, but I stopped vlogging because I'm like, okay, I gotta deal with life. So I just started busting my ass. I had multiple jobs. I done worked at Victoria's Secret. I done worked at Starbucks, Toys R Us. I worked at Foot Locker. I even had office jobs. And I just realized that, okay, retail jobs are not really getting me anywhere. Like, so I'm like, I need something, and I wanted something that I'll actually like. So I'm like, you know, I kind of like the health system. So I went to school, and then this is when COVID happened. I went to school for phlebotomy. Like I figured out what phlebotomy was. That's when you draw blood. And I felt like I just outgrew retail. Like I got so good at dealing with people and retail that it's just like, I feel like I need something more career given, something that's given like career, you know? So I found out what phlebotomy was. I found an interest in it. But once I went to the school, they were like, why don't you apply? Why don't you come to school for medical assistant? It's phlebotomy, front desk. You could deal with people, or you could do clinical work, like lab stuff. So I'm like, you know, okay, this sounds interesting, and it sounds like it'll give me more options to figure out what kind of job I want. So I went to medical assistant school in Manhattan too. Like everything is in Manhattan. But yeah, it was called New Age Training. I graduated as a medical assistant, and yeah, I got a job very easily. Now I'm trying to do, you know, my YouTube, work my job, be a mom. So I'm trying to juggle a lot of things. And I just realized, like, okay, now it's giving grown. I'm in my 20s. I got my medical assistant job. I'm in my apartment. I'm still in this apartment. Got my apartment. I'm getting money. But then I realized I'm not spending as much time with my son anymore, and he's getting older. Me and his dad are separated, so he's living in a different place. I'm living here. I'm the sole provider for my son. I pick him up, drop him off. He's been living with me since he came out my coochie. Okay, he hasn't lived anywhere else. I as a mom, I can't see me giving up my son. I cannot. But he grew inside of me. Like this, he's literally my heart. He's my soul in human form. So yeah, at the time I didn't want a kid, 19, but everything happens for a reason. And I honestly believe if I didn't have my son, when I had him, I probably wouldn't be here, because the way life was hitting me, like real life was hitting me, and like I said, I'm a very to myself kind of person. I got to a point one time where I didn't want to be here, and what stopped me was me thinking of my son. Like if I leave my son, I can't leave my son in this cruel ass world. So I would say I can't do that. So now this is when my son is getting older. I'm starting to realize I'm not really with my son like that because of my job. Along with my busy schedule, along with his dad not being there like that, my son started to be bad. Like I see he wasn't really listening to me, just being bad. And it's just like, I know what it is. It's because he's not around his parents like that. There's nobody to say, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. That's not right. It's nobody to correct him. Nobody raising him for real. And like I said, I've been on my shit. Like, I want to be on YouTube. I want to sing. I want to do mad things. I want to be an entrepreneur. You know, I want to work for myself. And this feeling just keeps growing, like bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go, as my mentality is growing. And I realized 9 to 5 is great, but I'm helping somebody else's business grow more, flow better. I'm using my skills, because when you're good at a job, you have something to offer. You have something that can help somebody's company blossom better, get more money, flow better. And I realized, bro, I've been working since I was 16. I done had over 15 retail jobs. I think I done had over 10, 15 retail jobs, office jobs. I'm a medical assistant, multiple clinics. I'm very good at what I do. Like I'm a very multitask kind of person. I'm a fast learner. I know how to speak to people. I'm fluent in Spanish and English. I could adapt to my environment very easy. And I'm just a smart person. I'm a go-getter, always been a go-getter. So I just felt like, okay, I have a steady job. I have my apartment. My kid is healthy. I'm good. But it doesn't feel like I'm not happy. I'm not living life. I'm just surviving. and it wasn't given. That feeling I had just kept nagging at me and nagging at me and nagging at me, and eventually I quit my job. I quit my 9 to 5. I could have stayed in this apartment, but I don't want to. I just feel like it's time to give it up. Like, along with other things, there's a lot of other things wrong with the apartment, but I have a letter, like, bruh. They just mailed, I just seen this letter today. $30 mail to make sure I get this letter ASAP. This letter said, it says, if I want to stay in the apartment, I can. I just have to hit up the lawyer and tell them I want to stay in the apartment. I don't want to stay in this apartment. I feel like I also got too comfortable. I wasn't on my hustle how I used to be. Like when I was in the shelter or at my mother's, I wasn't on my grind. I got comfortable in a place that is not, it's not the end. This is not the end. The way I was moving was like, oh yeah, this is my house forever. Yeah, I'm a grandma, I'm staying here. Like, I just know it's time to move on. Thank God my mother welcomed me with open arms. She welcomed me with open arms back in the same apartment I was living since I was 11, 12. My stepdad, they still live there. So now I'm moving back with my parents. Well, I already moved back in. I'm just like back and forth here moving things. But I already moved back in like a month ago. I'm just now making a video. So now I'm back with my parents. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable because I'm so used to having my own stuff. Like, hello, I'm used to walking around in underwears, panties. I'm used to doing my own stuff. I don't feel like, damn, I feel like relieved. I feel relieved because I feel that grind coming back. Like, I feel that when you in someplace familiar, it just brings me back to years ago. Like, bruh, it's just a different feeling. Like, bro, it's giving me motivation again to be on my grind because, but I had my own apartment for a very long time. I could have did a lot, but I got comfortable. Motivation went away. Life happened, so it's like, all right, I seen opportunity, and I just go for it. I just go for it. Like I see a way out, and I just went for it. I quit my job. It's crazy because the day I quit my job, it wasn't even my intention. I did not go to work that day thinking I was gonna quit. Like that day went totally 360, totally left. I did not think I would quit that day, but I ended up quitting. This apartment, I seen, okay, my lease is about to be renewed. Do I want to stay here? Don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay here. Don't want to stay here. So, and there's a lot of people that, you know, go through big changes where they have to move back in with their parents or a friend for a while or go to a shelter. When you're closing one door, it's because another door is gonna open. It wouldn't be me if I didn't explain this huge change in my life. And one thing about me, I love change. Like, I got to the point where I can't even have conversations with people if we're talking about the same thing. Like, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, my mind will zone out because it's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, I wanna hear new things. I wanna experience new things. Like, I'm 26. We gotta start living our life. We never know when our last day is here. I can't be that person. My soul won't let me. I feel like a bird trying to get out of a cage, okay? I just have so much to offer. It's not just about me. Like, it's about what I know I can offer to people once I hit a certain stage. So it's bigger than me. Yeah, I had to just explain all of that, how I got to here. Not everybody has it figured out, and it's like, I know I'm gonna make it regardless. And it's like, I wanna look back on my journey. Not only do I vlog my life, but I also write down. I have journal entries from 2021. We're in 2024. So I have my whole life written down from 2021. kind of. So what I do is I do monthly entries. So say it's January 2021. No, say it's February 2021. I write down how my January was. Like, life goes on, we're not gonna remember everything. So I like to write down how my month was. I like to see what accomplishments I did. How did I feel that month? How did life go for me that month? What did I do? Like, bitch, do we got a mansion yet? Like, are we rich yet? Like, what are we doing? Like, if God allows me to see 80, I'm an old lady, oh, I'm gonna have a ball. I'm gonna have a ball looking back at my life, my younger self. Like, I'm gonna have a ball. I'm gonna be able to read things that I totally forgot about. I'm a vlogger, like I'm an open person, but this is really like for me, like when I'm an old lady. So now this is where I'm at. Back with my parents, with my son, of course. And it's like a good feeling too, because we've never been really close. So it's like now that we're older, you know, it's like we get to have like real talks, and I get to really see my family for who they really are, like real life adults. Like they're all going through their own things. And it's like I'm back with my family, and it feels good because remember I told you I'm used to being alone. Like I'm not used to being close with people. It's easy for me to let people go without thinking. Like I'm used to cutting people off because I'm used to being alone. I don't even want to give people the opportunity to get close to me to hurt me. So the fact that I'm back with my family is healing me kind of, because it's like, oh shit, like I'm not alone no more. A lot of people, when they make it, they say I've been through the struggle. Yeah, I was in the hood with it, in the projects. I was on a sofa, da-da-da. Now I'm gonna really show y'all. But look, the sun about to go down. I have to leave before it really gets dark in here because the power off. Like, this is, like, stop playing. I have no car. Like, bro. But I have my license. And it's like, I want to vlog all of that. I want to vlog getting my first car. Like, I'm pretty sure if I would have had a lot of things back then, I wouldn't have appreciated it because of how fast I would have got it, or like if I didn't work for it. I'm somebody that I need to work for what I have. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like they could take anything from me because they gave it to me. No, what you cannot take is somebody's mentality. You can't take that from them. Like how on point they are, like what they experience. You can't take away experience. You cannot. I went through so many things to prepare me for what I'm gonna get now. Fuck the future now. What I'm gonna get now, because baby, I done been through it. Like, God, what else you about to put me through? Feel me? I done been through some things, and I know I'm gonna go through more stuff. It's life. But it's time for my blessings. It's time for my blessings. I have faith. I have faith, okay? Like, my God knows I have faith. It's like I have to be honest to show y'all, like, blessings are real. God is real. Coming from nothing, and I just know I'm gonna make it. So you gotta believe in yourself. Yeah, so yeah, let me show y'all before it got about to get dark in here. My desk, my mirror. Well, it's a hot mess right now, honestly, because I already moved all my stuff. This is just like garbage. Boy, I'm gonna just have to leave this behind. Like, I was gonna put it in storage, but I know I'm gonna want new things when I move again. Yeah, y'all, that was that. I'm about to get out of here. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.